Oh, you're being ridiculous. He's a professional football player.
No, look, I'm not talking about killing the guy. I'm just talking about going up there with a group of dudes and intimidate him. Maybe break his arm.
You can't break Tom Brady's arm.
Oh, yes, I can. No more Super Bowls for that pretty boy.
Listen.
Robert better not get in my face, because I'll drop that mother.
What did you say? What the f*** did you just say?
Fumblerooski to the near side.
What are you, a fucking lunatic? You and your mom are hillbillies. This is a house of learned doctors.
I respect him as a coach, but I'll be damned if I allow someone to,
But I'm going to kick you repeatedly in the balls.
You got long balls, man. Long balls. You got long-ass balls.
You can't pick
What should I not You know exactly what you've done, sir.
That's bullshit. I'll say it again. It's bullshit.
Nah, I'm just pissed off.
Let me tell you something with absolute honesty and concern for your well-being. Tom Brady would kick your ass.
You know, I was rude and inappropriate, and I just want to say I apologize.
I'm sorry that anybody could be offended by something that we were just having fun with, and I enjoyed it, and we're going to continue to do it.
Welcome, everybody. It's another week. Welcome to episode number 51 of the Ricky Williams Trilogy. I am Moose, Seamus Anderson, known by few people. I'm here with my two buddies, Be Eazy out in beautiful, sunny LA, and then we got the Duke out in rainy Seattle, and it's feeling a little rainy out there right now. I bet along with the skies, I bet every single person that wears the blue, green.
Is it actually raining up there?
No, it's actually kind of hot.
Yeah, dude, it's actually rainy and cloudy down here in LA, man. Things are messed up.
I got everything wrong?
Yeah, dude, you're in real life, everything is flip-flopped of what you said, man. It's the Armageddon.
Yeah, that's freaking weird, dude. That's freaking weird. Well, maybe that's because Seattle has officially released two of the guys from the Legion of Boom, sort of. Cam Chancellor.
Well, one wasn't on that side of the ball, but that's
and Dougie Baldwin, Russell Wilson's career wide receiver out there. I gotta be honest, boys. Like I don't really care about Seattle, as far as the football team goes, because they're insufferable. But I feel bad for these two guys. They were fun to watch. Like on any team, I would watch these guys and want to watch them.
Well, I hate Seattle, hate Pete Carroll, I hate the team, I hate the colors, I hate everything about them. But I respect the hell out of Cam Chancellor and Doug Baldwin.
Right.
Because you know what, at the end of the day, man, it's a fraternity of players. You got respect for them because they could not even pass the physical, which I wish the Seahawks didn't even say. I wish they said we just cut them. We let them go. But to actually put them on blast like that, saying, hey, your body is so broken because you gave it to everything you had, you couldn't pass a physical.
Well, I mean, I think that's better for the fans to know that than for them to think that the organization just got rid of these guys and just sent them off into the sunset. I mean, especially because Doug Baldwin, just came off of another good season. Now, granted, he didn't play the full season due to injuries, but he was good when he was out there. And let's be honest, he's probably the reason why Russell Wilson is getting the money he's getting right now. I mean, the man bailed him out of a lot of things. Now, also Tyler Lockett was involved in a lot of that, and we're going to see probably more of Lockett this year. Side note, I'm drafting Lockett in this next year's fantasy draft because he's the new number one over there, and he's going to get the ball. He's getting touches,
It's interesting because, now we start getting into this fantasy mode where we're all trying to, pick out the players from the teams that we want in the first 6 rounds. Cause after that, you can get lucky, but, DK Metcalf now, even though he's got slower feet than friggin' Tom Brady in the agility drills at the combine, he's going to be huge for that team. Cause he has to be now.
Well, he is a first round pick. So he needs to step up and show that he's a first-round pick, especially if he got that 1% body fat.
He didn't go first round, bud.
He didn't go. That's right, because so many good players dropped. That's right. Well, he is potential first-rounder.
Right.
For sure. I know. Yeah.
Most people projected him to go first round just because of his body, and he's an absolute monster. But he's gonna have to step up. And
is he a playmaker or is he a producer?
Well, we'll see. I mean, aren't they one and the same?
No, man, a producer's more like your Edelmans, going out there, getting those short yards, getting those tough yards. Your playmakers, your Irvings, your Mosses, you guys that band when the game's on the line. You need
Your TOs.
TOs, baby. The proud graduate of University of Chattanooga, you alumni.
That's right, man. You know, if any chance I can to give a shout out to Terrell Owens, I guess I need to. You know, man did do a lot for the university, and it's probably the only reason why that university's on the map. He and Mr. Belding. But either way, dude, yeah, I'm really I'm kind of concerned about fantasy football because of so many changes being made, changes that were out of my hand. You know, changes with the Chiefs. I mean, that's going to affect a lot of people. You know, does Patrick Mahomes have the same value this year, knowing that he doesn't have Hunt, knowing that he doesn't have Hill? You know, now you're putting it all on Sammy Watkins and Kelsey. You know, I don't know if that means he's as valuable as he used to be. You know, so fantasy is going to be interesting this year. You know, are we going to take the risk on Odell Beckham with Baker Mayfield throwing to him? You know,
I'm going to take every risk on the Browns this year. I don't care, dude. You know, I know Duke, you're hating on the Browns right now, but dude,
I'm not hating on them. I wish them the best, dude. I'm just saying, you know, you can't be jinxing yourself.
Yeah, like you shouldn't be saying we're gonna win. Like Greedy Williams gets drafted, like we're winning a Super Bowl. Like, dude, you gotta learn not to do that quick. Like, you gotta be quick about it.
As a fan, I get very superstitious. And that's one way to be. Just my philosophy is make it to the playoffs, man. Then after that, whatever happens, man. But you gotta make it to the playoffs first. Gotta crawl before you walk, Greedy. And for somebody who's never played a snap in the NFL, you better back it up. That's all. I hope you do.
You gotta have that. I mean, and that's the thing about how we draft. Like, I don't think there's one dude that comes into the Patriots organization that doesn't know they are not supposed to say something like that. Like, you don't say that. You don't say we're going to the Super Bowl this year. Like, yeah, you can say it behind doors. You can say it to whoever you want, but like to say it as soon as you get drafted is ballsy. You know, I like the confidence on the kid. His first name's Greedy. Let's see how greedy he is. You know, like, I mean, I hope the best for the kid. And you know, my love for Baker Mayfield. I don't really care about Odell.
Greedy's on the D, right? Greedy plays defense. Is that correct?
Cornerback. Yeah.
Corner. Yeah, that's right. So he plays corner. So, like, I mean, he better be greedy and getting those snatchaways, man. I mean, because he better earn his name that way.
Right. But, like, is that a thing with certain positions? Like, obviously, your wide receivers are prima donnas on almost every single team. And then you got your running backs who are the grudge guys, but they still got a little prima donna in them. Cornerbacks are the worst.
Come on, dude. They've been prima donnas for – I mean, do you not remember how – well, you were too young, my man, but Deion Sanders had the greasiest jerry curl and the biggest chains for his draft day.
I mean, my Deion Sanders would probably be like Richard Sherman.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, Deion was a different beast. I know
that.
Well, no, because Richard Sherman actually tackled, y'all. He gave it all. Okay? Deion, because it's a business decision.
You know, Deion prided himself on interceptions. He's like, if you throw it my way, I'm taking it away.
But he'll let you get by it because that's a business decision.
Well, he pushed him out of bounds.
But man, going back to the Seahawks, man, this is truly the end of the era, man. It's truly kind of like them wiping away everything from the Super Bowl team, man. Only thing left is really Russell and Pete, and I think Pete's going to be gone first because, I mean, now they're actually saying, yes, this is Russell's team, you know. And I think Cam could get picked up somewhere. Doug could get picked up somewhere.
Well, not if they're not passing physicals. I mean, if they don't pass the physical.
They could try again, though. I mean, it's not like it's.
Yeah, but, I mean, it's not likely that you're going to now pass the physical a little later.
Here's a conspiracy, though. What if they failed it on purpose?
No, I don't think they're going to fail it on purpose, especially not with Dak Baldwin. Like Cam Chancellor, I can understand them maybe saying that he failed it because he hasn't been playing much anyway, and that was just an easy way to get rid of him. But Doug Baldwin has been out there still giving his heart and soul, catching every ball he possibly can, and somehow getting open when no one should be open. So I don't think they would have done that for Doug. If it was just Cam, I might have agreed with you. But since it's both of them, it seems like this might be legitimate, like, ailments.
Yeah.
I forget who it was. It was an offensive lineman. I read about it. but he got traded to the Raiders, and then he purposely went in there and failed his physical, and then went back and got picked up by another team because he didn't want to play for the Raiders.
Yeah, but see, I don't see that from Doug Baldwin. Like, what would be the motivation? Doug Baldwin is not one of those guys who ever seemed upset with his situation in Seattle. And why would you be upset being number one? I don't know why he would be mad at that. He's winning games. He's getting the ball. He's Doug Baldwin. Like, people are wearing his jersey. Chancellor, maybe. I mean, his whole team got imploded.
Dude, you'd be surprised how many people are wearing, how many little kids are wearing Chancellor jerseys out there.
No, I'm not saying that people aren't wearing it. I'm just saying from his perspective, you know, his defense, his team has imploded on the defensive side. So maybe he might have some disgruntledness, maybe. Yeah, but I don't see it on Doug Baldwin.
Right, and Chancellor already missed last year from a neck injury. Like, I literally saw the post that Seattle had with the two of them, and there were people from Seattle asking, I thought Cam retired last year.
Because they never watched their own games. That's messed up.
Well, they're not going to announce every game that, okay, Cam Chancellor's injured. They're not going to say it every game.
But you call yourself a fan and you wear these colors. Well, I know who's starting the injury report. But my thing with Doug, though, man, Metcalf was drafted. What if he took that as an insult and said, you know, they told him that, hey, Metcalf coming in number one. Everybody been talking about him number one. And he's been under his stripes catching fourth down 100 yards from Russell Wilson all this time, you know? Just say, man. I mean, he could take it as a disrespect or a sly. But
I understand that you're just playing devil's advocate, but I'm definitely and I know you don't like think that, but you're just saying it because like there's no Doug Baldwin's like literally I want to meet that guy just to shake his hand. Like he's that type of character. Like if I met Tom Brady, I'd freak out. But if I met Doug Baldwin, like he seems like a genuine human being. You know what I mean?
But I'm saying that this is one of those things the players have in their power. You could either go in and pass a physical or not, because players have come out and said, I failed because I didn't want to play for that team. And
right, man. But again, I don't see the incentive for Doug Baldwin at all, and there's very little I see for Chancellor either. I mean, again, Chancellor didn't play a whole season because of his neck. That neck thing probably is a real problem. And, you know, Doug Baldwin has been having issues with, I think, his hips. And as a wide receiver, you land on your hips, you use your hips to move. The hip that's a very important thing. And if his hips aren't good, man, he's basically done.
Man, I just feel honestly like I don't know. I felt so bad for Ryan Shazier. Obviously, what happened to him was terrible. Anybody that comes out of the sport who is just injured, and it's not one injury for Doug Baldwin. Remember, we talked about this either last week or 2 weeks ago, and there was a report that said he may not play because of how many injuries he has. And if it's his hip, if it's anywhere near his core, Eazy, you're exactly right. You can't turn to the ball. You can't turn your feet to the ball. You can't do anything. Like the hip is one of the most important things. Your hip and your core for a wide receiver, like that's a huge part of your game. So, I mean, God, I hope the both of them are able to find somewhere to play. I know Duke has that optimism in his eyes. I can see it. But I don't know if it's going to happen. Like these guys are born and bred Seahawks. Like they went through the thick of it when everyone from Seattle started loving them. Because I don't see too many Steve Largent jerseys out there. I don't see many Matt Hasselbeck jerseys.
No. The Hasselbeck ones are still worn. I've seen those. I've seen a lot of them.
Like not, but what I'm saying is like you don't see as many. Like,
right, okay.
You know what I mean? Like just like for the Patriots, perfect example. I don't see too many jerseys from the 90s, those light blue ones with the huge logos on the shoulders. Like, yeah, people buy refurbished ones now. Like I would buy one of those, absolutely. But there's not too many people like just wearing them from when they had them. Like my Gronk jersey, I'll always have. Whether we switch to a new jersey or not, I'll always wear that one. And my Teddy Bruschi white one from back in the day. You know, it's just not the same. Like, I don't see the same amount of those weird – remember the 05, 06? Like, they had those weird blue jerseys. Like, it belonged on a BMW, like the color. You know, it was like gray blue. Like, there's not a ton of Sean Alexander jerseys being worn. And if they are, it's in the south part of Seattle.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's very rare to see the Sean Alexander. It's few and far between. Even though he took them to a Super Bowl all by himself, basically.
Right. Literally.
Yeah.
But speaking of people trying to move on, Cowboys, dude, is Dak Prescott in negotiations? Is he the next $30 million quarterback? Is he going to get paid more than Russell? Is Jerry Jones willing to bank his whole entire future because he wants a Super Bowl? What's Jerry going to do?
I don't know why he would put all his negotiation power into Prescott when it really should go to Elliott. I mean, Elliott's really the more important part of your offense there. I mean, if you don't get the ball moving through him, you're not getting the ball down the field through Prescott. So that's just how that is. There's got to be kind of a run.
But also, too, man, I kind of think they disrespected Ezekiel this year in the draft when they drafted 2 running backs. When you can just pick up running backs willy-nilly, don't matter. But you drafted them, kind of sends a message that, all these guys ain't going to get paid if Prescott's going to take the money. And I agree with you. Ezekiel Elliott is more of a staple than Prescott.
No, it's true, and that's why they got 2, because they're going to take a risk on seeing if they can get one of the 2 to work out for them. And if they both don't work out, then, they're back to square one. But they feel like one out of the 2 ought to be something that they can use to kind of maybe push him out of the way. Because, there's a lot of value in Zeke, especially with teams like the Kansas City Chiefs that have absolutely no one in their backfield right now. I mean, they could be like, hey, y'all want to give up some stuff because we had to pay this quarterback, so we're willing to get rid of Zeke, So, and I mean, who knows what's going to happen in that situation in Dallas? But I'm just saying, like, they know they have something very strong with Elliott, and they have a lot of value in trading him off. And you got to have a quarterback that you can trust. I'm not saying that Prescott is the one that you should, but he hasn't proven that he shouldn't be trusted. So you kind of have to go with that.
Dude, I mean, I'm sitting here right now, and I'm thinking it's not a bad move for them to pay him some serious money. I mean, is he fantastic? No, I wouldn't say so. But guess what? Since 2016, all the quarterbacks that entered in 2014, 2016, it looks like he's leading a lot of them, like in total yards. And I know that doesn't mean much, but think about who they've had. Like, the Cowboys have had nobody to throw to. They had Dez, and we all knew that just didn't work out. Like, the way Tony Romo threw to Dak, to Dez Bryant was different than Dak, and Dak is not used to it. Dak needs that running game. That's why they picked up Ezekiel, and they'll keep Zeke, dude. There's no way Elliott wants to go anywhere else. He loves the publicity. He loves the amount of times he touches the ball. And to be honest with you, it seems like him and Dak and all the guys over there have a pretty good relationship going right now. And for Dak Prescott to already have more than 10,000 yards in just over 3 seasons, like that's pretty good. And I know we talked about this last year. We said this year was going to be a year for Dak Prescott to really like dig deep because he had to, because it's a contract year. But I mean, for me, if you got more yards than Carson Wentz and he's like the next greatest thing, yeah, why wouldn't you keep Dak Prescott? I mean, the crowd loves him down there, right?
Oh yeah, dude, they love him. He's winning games. He shows that he will sacrifice his body, much like Cam Newton will, to get that ball forward a yard or two, man. Like, he'll sacrifice his body. He's not much of a slider, dude. He goes head first a lot of times. So Dallas likes that. They like a quarterback that's going to play hard for them and look like he's going to take his body and just throw caution to the wind for the sake of them winning. So
right. And I'm definitely not praising Dak Prescott. Like, on the list of starting QBs, he's still in the bottom, half for me. But there's
but he's close to half. I mean, he's near the halfway point. I mean, he's probably 16, 17 as far as the better quarterback.
Honestly, he's probably like right around where I'd throw Marcus Mariota. Like and I realize it's different, and I realize the Cowboys is just like looked at different, but he's in that same realm where he can lead a team. You know, Jameis Winston even has almost 15,000 passing yards, which I don't understand at all.
Well, they have an offense in Tampa. The problem with Tampa Bay is they have no defense. And when you have absolutely zero defense and the other team scores 60 points, your team has to score 70, and that's nearly impossible, you know? So, like, that's the problem with Tampa. I mean, they've put a lot of drafts into that offense. They got a strong line.
Right.
We have good.
Right, and they're even in more trouble now. Real quick, we'll go back to Dak. I know Duke needs to say something, but Tampa Bay's in trouble on D again because JPP wrecked his $350,000 Ferrari, and he now has a fractured neck. So,
good grief.
But anyways, go
that
ahead.
Man is always injuring himself.
Well, he probably couldn't catch himself. He doesn't have any fingers. But go ahead, Duke. What would you say about Dak, buddy? I know you probably have something strong to say.
Here's the thing with Dak. Mariota, he compared to Mariota, I don't see it. I see Dak. He came into the league with the best offensive line in the league. Then he also came in with probably, I would have to say, right there was Saquon Barkley as one of the two best running backs in all of football with Ezekiel Elliott. And then that defense is pretty stout now down in Dallas. And now my question is, I don't see that putting that team on his shoulders type of guy. I don't see that. Dak needs help. Dak needs.
Yeah, I mean, here's the thing, dude. I don't see Marcus putting the team on his shoulders.
How many times, dude? How many times he has led a team in fourth?
No, but that's not putting the team on your shoulders.
How's that not? Then you say
that's a different thing, dude. That's a different.
You say he's injury prone, but yet you're praising Dak for going out there getting that extra yard like Cam Newton.
I'm not talking about injuries. I'm talking about actual, like, here's the thing, dude. The comeback against
I'm saying that Mariota came into a dumpster fire.
What?
Dak came into and took Tony Romo's job.
I'm not saying that he didn't come into a more cush situation.
Yeah,
I mean,
dude. That's
definitely walked into a situation that was better.
And Jameis Winston's same thing. But yeah, now it's like
no. I mean, he came to a better offensive line.
Better offensive receivers, better offensive line, man.
Yeah, but whose fault is that? That's the fault of the organization. That's not the fault of those quarterbacks.
Exactly. That's not their fault. What I'm saying is I see Dak as a guy that has the potential to win the Super Bowl. He just needs a little bit more growing pains and needs just a little bit more help. But I'm afraid
you need more help, and apparently you're getting rid of your help. You had a guy with like a 5-year or a 5th-year deal option, some dude on your offensive line that apparently tore an ACL, and y'all were
Conklin?
Yeah,
because he couldn't adapt to the new offensive scheme, so we're supposed to keep his ass.
Well, but you need protection from Marcus in the first place. Is he not?
That's why we brought in what's his name from St. Louis. I'm not worried about that. I'm just saying I like Dak, dude. I just don't think that he should go out, get paid with your guaranteed money, because that's what it's really about. Go and negotiate that guaranteed money and get you $40, $50, $60 million of guarantees. But don't bankrupt the team, Dak, because you could really
First off, no one's saying that he's bankrupting the team. People are out there speculating that he's going to go out there trying to get the biggest payout, and I don't think he will either.
He said about Tom Brady. He was like, well, Tom Brady's wife, she makes more money than he does.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm sure he was doing that maybe as a tongue-in-cheek kind of situation.
Yeah, he wants his money, dude.
I know he wants his money, but he probably doesn't need to go as far as being the highest paid quarterback in the NFL. If it's going to destroy his connections with Zeke, he's not going to have nearly the protection on the offensive line. I don't think he's that cocky yet.
I think he is, dude.
I think he is.
Because he knows the Cowboys ain't got no option after him. And good for him, because like you said on his resume, he's won 2 playoff games. He could be like, well, Romo only won 1. Look what happened to him. Are you guys scared that you guys go back to actual mediocrity without me? Dak has all the negotiating power here, man.
He really does, man. I guess you know what? I'm going to eat some humble pie. That is exactly what I said in the beginning, that he's going to be able to just walk in there and talk about, I got playoff victories. That's what any quarterback can do. And so he can do the exact same thing. Go get his money. Well,
I'll give you a subtle Fumblerooski clicking right there for that one, Duke. That was a good one, buddy.
I mean, it's true, though. I mean, look, Matt Ryan went in there and got paid because he went to a Super Bowl and lost it in the most embarrassing way possible. You're going to pay somebody off for doing the worst thing I've ever seen in professional sports. Right. So if he can get paid.
And I've always liked Dak. I think Dak always gets crapped on because he's a black quarterback, which is true, because now they're praising Carson Wentz for how many times has Carson Wentz been injured? Has he even been in the playoff?
That one is really disturbing to me, though, man, because they really do praise Carson Wentz for not being on the field. They're like, Carson Wentz is the greatest thing Philadelphia has ever seen. Such a great Eagles quarterback. I was like, first off, when they won the Super Bowl, he wasn't there.
Second, on the bench
here, he wasn't there. Like, what are you talking about? How he's so great? He ain't even present for the playoffs when the games actually matter. He's there for maybe a few games in the regular season before he gets hurt again. What? I don't understand why he's the greatest thing that's ever happened to quarterbacking in Philadelphia, except for possibly the color of his skin. Because Donovan McNabb was much better.
The other guys that were drafted in 2015 or 2016 with Jared Goff and Dak Prescott. I mean, Carson Wentz has played the least amount of games, and he's pretty close to the total amount of yards that Dak has. I mean, I understand what you're saying because I agree. Like, he's really not the next greatest thing. Like, this kid was drafted out of North Dakota State. Like, he's not going to be in anybody. He's playing in Philadelphia. Philadelphia, get over yourselves. It's never going to happen. You're never going to win with Carson Wentz. You should have kept Foles. You should have kept Foles.
Here you go. Here's my thing with it. And this is the theory that Jonathan opened my eyes to, right? Mariota's been hurt, but boy, he gets criticized like hell for being hurt, doesn't he? Carson Wentz tears 2 ACLs, misses a Super Bowl, and his team still goes on to succeed without him with a backup quarterback. But yet, Chris Sims is over here saying, yes, the Eagles are going to give him because he is a franchise quarterback. He is the future. Then he goes to Mariota. He's like, Mariota's garbage. Well, he's injury, but see, it's like because he's white. I mean, Jonathan opened my eyes to this. I didn't want to say this for years, dude. I don't know because I was blinded, but Jonathan's right. Cam gets crapped on all the time, dude. Like Russell don't get the respect that he deserves, even though he's better than Aaron Rodgers.
Oh no, it's true, man. They acknowledge his greatness, but they don't give him the praise. They don't choose to push him up like a golden child of the NFL. Their golden children for the NFC. Oh, well, that's going to have to be Aaron Rodgers. Your golden child of the AFC, that can be, Andrew Luck or Tom Brady or, any other one that happens to have the right shade of skin. Like, it's ridiculous, man, and it's disgusting in every way. But, that's what they do. And they do it throughout all of their journalism, too. Like, it's weird how they portray things, too, man. Like, it's awful. It's awful, but.
Right, because I would take Matt Ryan over Aaron Rodgers any day of the week. Literally any day of the week with any receivers, I would take Matty Ice over Aaron Rodgers. In fact, I would take Carson Palmer. I'm not even kidding. I would take Carson Palmer as a QB before Aaron Rodgers.
I take Cam Newton because Cam got hot.
Vinny Testaverde. Who else? Let's keep going. Doug Flutie?
Testaverde, dude. Oh, man, dude. Man, Vinny, man, played for how many years, man?
Big Vinny. I think he
played until he was nearly 50 years old, I'm sure.
He played 30 years, dude. I think he played in the mid 80s to the mid 2000s, didn't he?
I think so.
No way he played for 30 years. I think it was 22 or 23, but it wasn't a 30-year stint. 20
years. I'm sorry.
No, it was definitely over 20 years, but it was not 30.
All right, well, I'm looking at it. Dude, I don't know. It seemed like Vinny was there for years. Like, I see video of him on Facebook, people have the old videos of him back in the late 80s, early 90s. And I remember Vinny Testaverde because I loved his name as a kid, and he was playing for the Jets. And it was just like, hey, Vinny, what are you doing over here, kid? Come over to the dockside.
He looks it up. He played 21 seasons in the NFL.
Oh,
I knew it was a little over 20, but I was like, there's no way he got to 30.
Yeah, well, like I know that's what it felt like, dude. What years was it? Was it like 86 to 2006 or 2007?
I don't know, man, but unfortunately, his net worth is only $10 million, man. That's one season in the NFL.
Bro, he was. No, come on, he was spending half his money in the 90s on.
Even still, but it's still like the money that they were getting back then versus now. I mean, like.
Well, he stayed around to get a little bit of money at least.
Yeah, but 10 million, like Tom Brady's getting that in half of his season, So like it just shows you the era in which he played in.
Crazy, right?
Let's see here. Vinny, see what his years were that he played. He was active from 1987 till the end of the 2007 season. His last year was with the Carolina Panthers.
Oh my God, that's right, dude. It was Steve Smith.
Yeah, dude.
Crazy ass Steve.
After he had 1 year with the Patriots, he went down to Carolina to stop his career as an NFL quarterback.
That's dude, that makes me feel old, man. Because we watched him down at University of Miami, man.
Dude, we watched Vinny Testaverde his whole life, man. Like literally from '87, dude. Like that's like when I started watching football, basically.
With a big U down in Miami U. I believe he was a part of the Ray Lewis and all those guys, right?
I'm pretty sure he probably
was.
Now he would have been around with what's his name?
Michael Irving, right? Is Irving there?
I think that's who he probably was throwing to. That sounds about right.
Yeah,
that would be around the same time period.
I mean, when's Vinny getting into the Hall of Fame though? Because if Jim Kelly got into the Hall of Fame, like
dude, Jim Kelly
got in there because he was the only thing that ever happened for that team, really.
And he played for 10 years. He played for 10 years.
Also, too, but you take your team.
And he played for 21 seasons. This dude isn't in the Hall of Fame yet. Where's Donovan McNabb? Where's he in the Hall of Fame? Boomer Esiason. I just don't understand it.
Boomer, though, man. But with
you know what I mean? Like, there's so many good quarterbacks that didn't make it in, and then you got like Bob Greasy in there.
I mean, Eddie George is not in there.
I mean, dude, again, you got to look at who the team is that, like, I mean, come on, dude. He got inducted as a Buffalo Bill. Come on now. Like, they have small windows of greatness, and he was the only greatness they really had.
Jim Kelly, like, set a record of the USFL for, like 10, 15 touchdowns in a game or some crazy crap like that. The guy was good, man.
I'm not saying that he wasn't good, but I'm just saying, like, sometimes you got to look at the amount of people who could possibly make it to the Hall of Fame, and so you kind of have to pick and choose sometimes.
Do you remember that team was stout, man? They had there's like 6 or 7 guys from those Buffalo Bills teams in the Hall of Fame right now. Jim Kelly, the running back.
Wasn't there a wide receiver named Bibby or something?
Buffalo Bills.
What was his name?
But I'm telling you, it's like 6 or 7 of those guys in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, I mean, there's always your guys that squeak in, but
no, dude, they went to the Super Bowl for 4 straight years, man.
How many did
they lost every time?
Yeah, but exactly. The achievement of doing that is amazing, dude. Every
well, like you went to 4 straight, you couldn't pull one out of your ass.
I mean, dude, they were, but see, that was back when the AFC was not nearly as good as it is today, and the NFC was like the one you had to get through. Like, you had to get through the Cowboys. You had to get through the Niners, man. You had to get through, like, a strong Packers team. Like, the NFC was rough back then.
True. I mean, so it's a little before my time.
I mean, you got Bruce Smith, dude. He was a beast back then, man. You got Marv
John Bibby. That's his name. Number 82. He was good.
Andre Reed, man. Jim Kelly, Thurman Thomas, Marv Levy. I mean, these are some great guys, dude. Amazing people, dude.
Thurman Thomas. Good Lord. That's a long time ago.
Did T.O. go in as a Bill? As a Hall of Fame?
There's no way he went in.
Dude, he's listed as under the Hall of Fame. As on the Hall of Fame website, there's T.O. between next to Bruce Smith and Bill Poland.
Shut up. Wait, T.O. T.O. went to the Hall
Well,
of Fame.
here's the thing, dude. I think it's weird in the NFL Hall of Fame. I don't think you have to claim a team, do you?
I thought you claim it. Oh, or
I know you do in baseball because you have to have a hat, but it's a bus in the NFL. So I don't know.
No, isn't it? They don't claim a team, but every team you play for gets in or something like that, right?
I think that's how it works for that.
Dude, if you're playing for like, I don't know, if you're playing for 6 teams and you get into the Hall of Fame. I mean, look at Brett Favre. He played for what, 4 teams? He got in the Hall of Fame pretty quick. Obviously, Brett Favre is one of the greatest quarterbacks we've ever seen, but Warren Moon had a couple of trips, didn't he? Like, he was tossed around. Nobody wanted him.
Well, first off, he had to start off in the CFL, but once I think he made it down here, I think he was pretty much an Oiler.
No, dude. No, he played for 4 teams at least.
Well, no. Like, I know. I mean, but most of that was. But I'm saying, like, I was thinking about like bouncing. Like, I was thinking, like, because you get near the end of your career, man, they just toss you around like a dirty wash rag. But like, I'm trying to think, like, like, because some get tossed around like a dirty wash rag their whole career, but they're still a Hall of Famer. But
right, he played 17 seasons total. Warren Moon, 17 seasons total. 10 of those were with Houston. So yeah, and then 3 other teams the rest of his career.
Correct.
And he had some okay numbers up until he played for the Chiefs.
Yep.
But
I remember that I had that NFL game where he was my quarterback, and they gave him some very, very good stats.
Wait a minute, you guys had video games then?
Shut up, Moose. They didn't have the quality they have today, I'll tell you that. But you know what? That little dot that was holding a brown dot, it moved real quickly, okay?
It probably was wicked difficult. I mean, I play Pac-Man now, and I'm like, I can't do that shit.
Dude, but we were the years that had the Madden that had no team rights to the NFL. So they did the whole, like, it was just like New England with the colors, Tennessee with the colors, but there's like no Oilers, there's like no Cardinals. It was weird, dude. And the players, I think the only thing they had were like the players' rights to do it, but that was it. That was like a weird year. That was before EA just bought the shit out of Madden and just ruined that game. But that's on a side note.
I wouldn't say that, but
speaking of, man, but the guys excited for the XFL next year? I am.
I mean, I was going to go on Madden and be like, the Madden curse is different this year with Patrick Mahomes. The curse is, it's different.
Oh, Mahomes is on it this year?
Yeah, he got the cover, and his curse is he's not going to have anybody to throw to. That's his curse this year.
Oh.
Yeah. But yeah, dude, the XFL, man. I mean, I'm mildly excited about it. I mean,
right. I'm like, dude, after the AAF, because I was even excited for that. Obviously, the XFL is a whole different ball game as far as entertainment value goes, and I think the NFL and wasn't leaning towards the alliance because I think they knew the XFL was going to be a thing that people want to watch. Because they could have saved the AAF, they could have made it a development league, they could have saved it. The thing is with the XFL is that they don't have to save that. They never will. Because if anybody wants it to succeed, it's going to be Vince McMahon, and he's gonna toss dollars, dude, everywhere at that thing. Like he's already promised almost like what, $250 million or more.
Actually, he sold all of his stock in WWE and bet on himself. Basically, too. What the cool part is with the TV contracts, which is going to be on ABC, ESPN, and Fox, and I think Fox Sports, whatever channel that is. But they're getting no money, man. XFL is getting no money. Vince McMahon says, we'll give it to you for free. We're going to prove ourselves. And then when we negotiate here in a couple of years, when the XFL is popping off, then you come back me and Vince McMahon makes even more money, which would be incredible because he's a businessman like that. But how do you feel about that, Moose? Huh? You looking forward to it, man?
Yeah, I'm excited for the XFL. I'm excited for spring football. But I'm just worried about spring football, dude. I mean, it's just every time it comes up, it goes down the shitter. I mean, if there was a fan, the shit would hit it.
The XFL has enough money to keep it going for at least like 3 years.
I think so too, and maybe it does. And the other thing is that the guaranteed money for people that could go to the NFL and make less, I think they're going to make more with the XFL. I think kids, like the rookie deals that are going around the NFL, they're not always great. They're not Kyler Murray money. And I think the XFL, I think their plan of attack, and I think their plan of attack should be, is to give them more guaranteed money. Give them a couple more 10 grand. They'll play for you. Are you kidding me? These kids will play for you. If they know they're not going to play in the NFL, they get a couple more $10,000. That's another car. That's a down payment on a house. That's to help your mom out. Like, these kids care about that shit. And I think it's going to go a long way for the XFL.
If the XFL can like poach the top guys, which I think Vince McMahon could do, go in the draft 1 year and just poach like some of the top 10 supposedly NFL draft people. These guys come out like the USFL did, and they got Herschel Walker, Steve Young, Jim Kelly. Get these top college prospects, NFL would have a chance. Not NFL, XFL will have a chance.
Yeah, I think we knew what you meant. But yeah, dude, yeah, they do have to do that. They have to make a play. I think I said that a few weeks back. Like, if the AAF made a play like that, trying to get like some top players, they might have been able to make it, but they were giving everybody the same base rate, meaning they didn't have the money to kind of duke it out with the NFL.
Yeah.
You've got to be able to at least compete a little bit as far as talent is concerned. But you know what? It's time for us to get to our very first break of this podcast, everybody, of this 51st Ricky Williams Trilogy.
Welcome back, ladies and gents. It is now time for your Fumblerooski Weekly Sports News Update. Benjamin Watson has come out of retirement and has signed a one-year deal with the New England Patriots for a base of $3 million. The insufferable Boston Bruins and the Carolina Hurricanes will face off in the Eastern Conference Finals. Go Jerks. While the Western Conference has a suitor waiting in the St. Louis Blues, and they will face their opponent between either the San Jose Sharks or the Colorado Avalanche, who have Game 7 tonight. Kyler Murray has signed a 4-year deal with the Arizona Cardinals for $35,158,645. It includes a $23,589,924 signing bonus. Needless to say, in regards to his move from baseball over to football, good move, kid. Good move. And finally, LeBron James is still a prick.
Well, I think I should update you there, Moose. I'm pretty sure the Sharks won already in Game 7.
Shut up. What?
Yeah, dude, that was yesterday.
No, it wasn't.
Yeah, it was. I was thinking about it, too. I was like, man, I'm pretty sure the Sharks won.
I'm a hockey fan, too. That's embarrassing. It's been a rough couple of days.
I just started to learn about hockey because I have to for money, and even I knew that they had already played. See what I do for money? I learn stuff.
Right. Fair enough. Well,
yeah, the Sharks won.
The Blues playing the San Jose Sharks then. I hope the Blues win. And I also hope the Bruins get swept.
Oh, wow. A lot of hate for them. But, do you want to talk a little bit about LeBron James not doing so well?
I do. I'll tell the story.
Please do. There's a lot to the story. The story is insane, man. Los Angeles is losing their mind right now.
So LeBron goes on his show because he believes he created the barbershop talk. Because, LeBron, anything before LeBron, didn't exist, right? So he's on his show with his boys, and he's talking, and they say, "Hey, man, what about that Magic situation?" And he goes, "Well, man, I was just doing my stretches, man. Then my right hand guy comes up and says, Magic left. Get the fuck out of my face, man. So I get on my phone, man, and fucking hey, man, he left, man. Not even a goodbye, not even a hey, LeBron, kiss my ass. just leaves, man, without saying anything, man.
Are you swearing because these are the exact quotes?
These are like, I paraphrase it, man, because he dropped a few more F-bombs than I did, because he wants to look like he's a gangster or something.
Have to go to HR with anything.
Yeah. LeBron, like, to me, was the biggest hypocrite in the world, because, like, so you're getting on somebody for not telling anybody about leaving or doing a little press conference and say goodbye. But you've done this many times. Now you want to be the victim?
Right.
Magic,
it doesn't make any sense.
Magic says, screw you, LeBron. I don't want you ruining the Lakers under my watch.
Oh, that's not exactly what was going on there, dude. It had nothing to do with LeBron James. Magic's leaving had everything to do with Jeannie Buss and Rob Pelinka, and they're just
the owner, right? Yeah. No, I mean, I agree, but also, like, LeBron James has always been a hypocrite, and he's always said shit that doesn't matter. In 2017, like, I'm pretty sure it was September. It was like the beginning of the season. He said his feelings hadn't changed, that he wanted to leave Cleveland. Obviously, that happened quite quick, didn't it, there, LeBron?
So I want to add. I'm sorry, Mace, but I can get you your thoughts on this too, right? He also said that the reason why he went to the Lakers was because of a 30-minute meeting with Magic Johnson.
All right, Dave Gettleman of NBA players, listen to me real quick, all right? Magic Johnson's the greatest thing that ever happened to you.
It's the greatest thing that's happened to the Lakers ever.
Right. For the whole city of L.A., can you name a more famous player from L.A. besides Wayne Gretzky? Maybe.
Kobe.
He was literally...
Kobe.
Okay, Kobe, but dude, I mean...
Maybe Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. He made movies with Bruce Lee, dude. The old school love him.
But when I think of L.A., yeah, true. That's true. That's a good point. When I think of L.A., though, I think of Magic. Like, and maybe it was the AIDS thing that pushed that forward. Maybe it was the Larry Bird versus Magic Johnson beef that we all...
Do you think it was the Magic Johnson Hour, his failed TV show? Do you think it was that?
I hope they bring it back.
They're not bringing that garbage back.
Bring it back.
Bring it back, man. Give him a chance, dude.
Run that shit back.
No, dude. Look, if he couldn't make it happen when they were giving a chance on black people, he's not going to make it happen now. He's not going to ruin things for us. We're doing well with Jordan Peele. We don't need Magic to ruin things.
Jordan Peele is a actual fucking American hero. That's true. No, it's interesting, though. I mean, like, LeBron is about LeBron. And, he's never had any scandals. He's never had any sex affairs. He's never been arrested. Like, LeBron has been great for the game of basketball. That I'll give him. He's been great.
Has he?
I mean, dude, yeah. I mean, look.
Come on, dude. He has been a model citizen for the game. Like, right. He hasn't even been running off and gambling like Michael was doing, dude. Like,
all I'm saying is
Magic was humping during halftime. Jordan is gambling in Atlantic City when he should be sleeping. But we haven't heard anything like that from LeBron.
Nothing. LeBron is literally the Eminem, the Marshall Mathers of the NBA. Like, have you ever heard of what Eminem is doing?
I don't get your logic there, man, because LeBron's like the softest motherfucker there is, dude.
Oh, he's wicked. Dude, so is Eminem. Are you kidding? I love Eminem. The dude pays like $15 million a year for security, and he talks shit.
With you? I mean, come on, man. Everybody coming up here like trying to shake your hand, dude. He wrote a whole album about that.
Dude, I know. It's embarrassing. It was embarrassing.
Right. Yeah, but he also has like weird dietary restrictions that he makes chefs sign off on. So that's a weird thing.
No, Eminem is super weird, and he has.
Why do you want people to know what you're eating, dude? Like, what do you like? I want the homies to know I had chickpeas today. Like, nobody cares. Just stay regular, dog. Stay regular.
Yo, I heard M was drinking almond milk, bro.
Yeah, dog. How you gonna put almond milk in your Special K?
Right.
Hey, he does live a very reclusive lifestyle in his mansion.
That's what I'm saying. And LeBron does too, except for when he wants to. And when he wants to come out and say bullshit like this, dude, like, you're gonna talk trash about Magic Johnson. Anything you say wrong about him is probably considered talking trash in LA. Like, I could say one thing about Magic, and I bet all of LA would freak. You know what I mean? And for LeBron to do, like, he's not in a position right now where he can say something like that. Buddy, you haven't even made it to the playoffs with the Lakers.
Yeah.
You haven't even made it to the playoffs with one of the most treasured traditional teams in the entire league. Like, Kobe did it. Shaq did it. Magic did it. Abdul did it. Like, what? You can't take these youngins and figure it out? Like, what? You need Kyrie? Take him.
Oh, yeah, you can take
Also,
that.
I'll talk about that in a minute. Bye,
Well,
Kyrie.
I mean, Kyrie ain't gonna stay there anymore.
Don't let the door hit you on the way out, Kyrie.
I don't think Kyrie was really the problem. I just think the problem was and you're not going to talk about it because no one's going to talk about Gordon Hayward just not being worth.
He shouldn't be playing either. He shouldn't be getting the minutes either, dude.
Well,
believe me.
But everybody's all on Kyrie's case. And I'm like, you got a guy over here you're paying big money to that scores
$30 million to score nothing. I know. I understand. No, I completely get that. But Kyrie literally came onto this team, Eazy, to be the leader. And if you can tell people, right, if you can be all Allen Iverson about it, which he can't be, and be like all this criticism against me, blah, blah, like I'm out here balling. Let's talk about how I'm balling. And then he comes out in the playoffs and he's fucking 19 for 62 or whatever he is. And the critics go after him and he can't even give a solid answer because his pompous ass is saying something straight out of his ass. Like, dude, I understand the Gordon Hayward thing. He shouldn't be playing either. He shouldn't be.
He shouldn't. And that's a body that is wasted because, you know, if you got rid of Hayward and maybe put in some sort of center or some sort of like active forward, yeah, like things could change, man. But I feel like a lot is put on him. He's playing the same kind of ball that James Harden's doing. The problem is James Harden is able to get away with it because he's making more buckets than Kyrie is. But I'm not saying that the style is bad.
Right. And I'm not saying that Kyrie isn't the talent we need. Obviously, we fucking need Kyrie Irving. Like, he is one of the greatest players for us to have. But, dude, if you're going to be that pompous, like, you have to understand a lot of Boston, like, sports fans are blue collar. You know what I mean? Like, we're working people. And for you to stand up there and say you want to be the leader, but you don't act like it, you don't carry any of that weight, and you find every single way. In the press conference last night, you cannot tell me that he didn't find every single solitary passive-aggressive way to put it on his teammates and his coach. He's talking about how the Bucks coach, I don't even know his fucking name, how the Bucks coach is making all these rotation changes, all these really good rotation changes. What are you talking about? He's subbing random people in and he knows he's going to kick your ass, dude. Like, no, I can't stand the pompousness, dude. That's what it is.
Here's the thing. He should never have been Batman. He should have always been Robin. I think the Celtics were trying to make that happen with Hayward. Hayward was supposed to be the Batman, and he was supposed to be the Robin. Well, when you're Batman, he ain't really Batman, then there's now Robin is trying to overtake Batman because Batman hadn't been showing up to work, and now Gotham City is in flames. So, because when you didn't have Kyrie or Hayward, and the team still made it almost to the finals.
Under Terry Rozier, he's fucking awful.
Yeah, so that showed that there was a problem with your two biggest stars. They were nearly worthless to your team.
Right, and the publicity for Kyrie before he came here did not help that fact. It did not help that fact because he said, I want to be the man.
Right.
He said, I want to be the man. I want to be the leader. Okay, if you want to be a leader in Boston, dude, all I'm saying is you got to fucking act like it. Like, if Gordon Hayward came out and said all this shit that Kyrie said, we'd hold him just as responsible. I promise you.
He would never do such things.
Exactly, because he's not a pompous dick, dude.
Plus, he came from Utah, man, and you know, in Utah, they drum like some sort of just, I don't know. They're so docile. I don't know how you like
Mormonism. They're docile until Russell Westbrook comes to town.
Right. Well, but I'm saying they're players, not the people.
Yeah, fair enough. Because Donovan Mitchell, like, we don't hear much about him, and he's a great talent.
The players are just so
good point.
Docile and meek. I don't know what they say to them when they sign that contract, but they're like, "You do anything, we taking your money immediately." Right.
Every single Mormon here is going to beat you to a pulp. I get it. Dude, different circumstances.
Mormon Jim don't play.
But, like, can you imagine, right, Eazy? Can you imagine next year? Because Kyrie's not staying, and we're helping him pack. Whoever said that, we're helping him pack.
I think Stephen A. said – no. I think it might have been Jalen. Jalen might have said
it was Jalen. Yep, it was Jalen. He said, and guess what? They're going to help you pack. And he's exactly right, dude. The teammates are, like, Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum want to be able to run a team their own way, and they did it last year to a degree too. I mean, like you said, we made it to the Eastern Conference Finals against the Bucks.
You took the Cavs all the way to 7. I mean, like LeBron could have not made. You guys could have made it to the champ. If you guys made it to the finals without both of them, I don't even think this season would have been such a problem because I think more changes would have been made. But since they didn't get it, they're like, well, then maybe this is what we need to get over that hump, and now we can win that chip. And now it looks like they did even worse. And so every reporter is going to report on the fact that your 2 biggest stars not being there made y'all the best team you've been since you won the championship with, Kevin Garnett and the crew, so.
Yeah, no, and I agree. And Brad Stevens is at fault too, but he took fault. That's the difference between a leader of men and a man that just leads once in a while. Like, Kyrie holds down the floor. I'm not going to say that. Kyrie, when he has the ball, he can hold down the entire floor. He's that talented. But he needs somebody better than Gordon Hayward to do it, and he knows it. And guess who that person is? It's fucking LeBron, bro.
Yeah, he probably
it's fucking LeBron James.
Here's the thing, dude. I think the Lakers, as sneaky as they've been, they don't want Kyrie. I think that's their like side hustle. If they get Kyrie, great. But their real focus is on homie who's putting down big numbers this whole postseason, and that's Kawhi Leonard.
Right.
There's these rumors that Kawhi Leonard doesn't want to play with LeBron, and I don't think I've ever heard him say that. But these are rumors that are being spread.
But
it's crazy.
Who does now, man? Because you know what, LeBron is.
What's the problem with? Because you know what, Kawhi doesn't like to be the number one guy anyway. If you noticed when he was down in San Antonio, he loved hiding behind the fact that there was Tim Duncan and Tony Parker, and he was just strolling through, winning a chip and getting himself a ring. So you know what? I don't think he wants to be the guy. He don't care. He's just out there trying to score and get his bounds and eat some hot wings. That's that man's life.
Dude, I understand that, man.
I would straight up trade Kawhi for Kyrie Irving.
Well, here's the thing: is Kawhi is a free agent. That man could just leave. He can get wherever he damn well please.
You don't understand. You guys just don't get it, man. Okay, Kevin Durant's going to New York. It says Kyrie. Nobody wants to play with LeBron.
Kyrie is not going to New York. He complains about the cold. Dude. Homie's leaving cold weather.
Yeah, man. Oh, dude, come on, man. New York, they're going to pay him, man. They get that number 1 draft pick, dude.
Every team is going to pay him. What team is not going to pay Kawhi Leonard?
Dude, I'm just saying, man.
Every team has made cap space, dude. There's like literally 25 teams have cap space for the 10 guys available.
25 garbage teams. I'm just saying, man, it's going to be New York. Kevin Durant said goodbye to the Golden State Warriors. He's going to go to New York. He's going to bring all his people who he wants with him. And
the only person he might get
say to Big U, hey, LeBron, I'm better than you because I want to do what you did with more championships, man. That's what the Durant's going to do.
The best he's going to get is Kyrie.
LeBron's a big dude. That's why nobody wants to play LeBron, dude. How many people has LeBron thrown under the bus? Well, that ain't my fault.
I don't think anybody cares as much as you really think they do.
I think people do care. I think
Kyrie cared because he was sensitive.
Kevin Durant he regrets it.
Yeah, he regrets it. Kevin
dude.
Durant would care because he's sensitive. But I'll tell you somebody who wouldn't probably care. Kawhi Leonard, who laughs at the face of every press conference like he don't care what happens, win or lose. He's like, man, I know I'm better than everybody, so whatever. Like, that man is very cool and collected. I'm sure he can handle whatever they try to throw at him.
Oh, dude.
Kawhi Leonard, you scored 30 points, but LeBron James said you're the reason we lost. He'd be like, yeah, I scored 30 points. Next question.
You want to go into a place where LeBron's going to throw you under the bus immediately when things they go.
But how can you throw somebody under the bus that scores as much?
How many people has he thrown under the bus?
But those people can be thrown under the bus.
It doesn't
matter. When Kawhi Leonard is scoring like this,
well, your teammate under the bus, dude. That's a big bid move. Well, Antonio Brown, the best wide receiver in the league, he couldn't run that route properly, so he screwed it up. That's a bitch move, dude.
But the NFL you can pull that off because they, as a quarterback, you can say that's the reason why the ball was incomplete.
Don't
in the
matter.
NBA, you can't say the reason you guys lost was because the other guy scored 30 instead of scoring 45. Like, you can't say that. That doesn't make sense.
So what you're saying is okay to throw people under the bus if you're in an NFL.
I'm not saying it's okay to throw people under the bus in the first place, but I'm just saying it's a little harder to do when the other guy is producing.
No, that's a millennial thing. It ain't acceptable, man. You take responsibility when things ain't going good. You're the leader of LeBron. You act like you're about to trade 20 of your people for Anthony Davis.
Dude. Well, look, Jeannie Russ ruined that because when she came out talking about that was fake news, everyone was like, but that's not fake news. Right. Because there's documents, there's reports, there's a lot of people involved in this that have said that this is what you've done and what you're doing. So it can't be fake news. So once that happened, I mean, the dysfunction just blew out of proportion.
And I don't want Anthony Davis after what he pulled wearing that T-shirt the last day. What did it say? Bye.
That's all, folks. From Warner Brothers.
No, that was Davis. First of all, and second, like I don't want people like that on my team. And everyone in Boston radio goes things like this, right? Like, oh, you don't want a guy that can play. Like, you don't want a guy that can win you a championship. And honestly, like the way basketball works now, where they're literally able to say whatever they want. Like after this year, no, I don't want that, dude. Honestly, I'd rather have a team led by Isaiah Thomas, and it's like not now. A couple years ago, it was fun. You know what I'm saying?
Isaiah Thomas that was riding on the Nuggets bench.
Right, but that season was fun. Like that was this whole entire season for people that bleed green. Like I don't bleed green. I like the Celtics, but like it wasn't fun for people this year. It wasn't the Boston Celtics team that we know.
It wasn't fun because they weren't winning at the rate that people were expecting them to. They were expecting to see with Kyrie and with Hayward and no LeBron James. They were expecting this just to be the easiest cakewalk they've ever seen.
It should have been.
Well, that's what they were expecting.
Between Hayward and Kyrie, it should have been, dude. And you know what? Hayward's coming off literally one of the worst injuries I've ever seen. Kyrie's always getting hurt. He's always got a knee issue. But how do you not take fault for something that was part of your fault? Like, right. And I can't stand that shit. But here's the deal too, Beezy. I got a question for you, right? Because you think Kyrie's not going to go to New York. I think most people do expect him to go there.
I can see him landing there, but that's not going to be his first choice.
Right. I might have to agree with that, but I think he's going to end up there. But my question is now, before last night, say last week, I thought Kyrie was going to New York and so was Kevin Durant. Now, Kyrie didn't show up in playoffs in the worst fashion imaginable because he won't take fault. Also, I could take 30 shots, he says. Fuck you. Fuck you. You could take 30 shots, dude. No, you couldn't because your percentage would be even worse. Go ahead, take 30. The whole country's laughing at you right now, right? And then Kevin Durant, God bless his soft little ass soul, gets hurt last night, tears his calf. So if you're the Knicks, right, and you have Zion Williamson coming, for sure, because I don't see them taking anybody else. They need a big name there, and Zion's the biggest we've seen in a while.
Right.
You take Zion. Do you really want Kevin Durant? They got to be double thinking it now, right?
You're going to definitely still want Kevin Durant no matter what. The problem is, do you want Kyrie as well in that nonsense? Because Kevin Durant is fine. The man is a scoring beast, especially when he's healthy. There's not really anybody stopping Kevin Durant. There's like two downright unstoppable players right now in the NBA, and that's Kawhi and Kevin. LeBron James was shown this year to be very stoppable. All right. So now that you can see that he is not what he used to be, there's blood in the water and everybody's willing to go in for a little bit of a taste. But like the situation with the Knicks going after Kyrie, I don't think it's going to be as valuable as they thought it was before. They could maybe try to go after somebody else like Kemba Walker, there's other options out there. They don't have to go that route. And if you have Zion and Kevin Durant, you can figure out other ways to make that team work. They already have some other pieces there that aren't terrible. They're just not good enough to win. LeBron's not done. Look, LeBron's just doing this for Space Jam 2. Here's what happened, dude. I had a revelation the other day. Space Jam 1 doesn't exist unless Michael Jordan leaves and goes to play baseball, because then the movie is made. So this one has got to be on LeBron James not making the playoffs. Then he does with the help of the Toon Squad somehow. And then, like, it goes from there. This is all just written garbage nonsense so that he can make a movie. But no, it's Hollywood nonsense, dude. Like, they're trying to make the movie into the real world by using the real world to make the movie. Like, what adversity had LeBron James seen before? He's not going to leave the NBA to go play baseball for a little bit or football or anything like that. So there has to be something that happens. The Toon Squad teaches him how to be a team player or something stupid like that. And then, you know, they make the playoffs and the Lakers are better, and then they, like, go to a championship or something. I don't know, man. Whatever. But either way, that's probably what's written in the script for this. And if that turns out to be the script for Space Jam 2, you heard it here first on the Ricky Williams Trilogy. I'll put that out there now.
I haven't heard one prediction for that movie yet, so I'm pretty excited now. Because I never think about that. Like, what's the movie plot gonna be like? I've never been that type of creative entity as you are, Eazy. I mean, maybe living in LA, you probably thought about that a time or two, doing a little.
Exactly, dude. Well, I mean, just if you think about it again, if Michael Jordan isn't playing baseball, what's Space Jam about? So now, if LeBron James doesn't make the playoffs, then Space Jam could be about him finding a way to take his team to the top. So,
dude, now I'm like seriously intrigued about what Space Jam 2 is going to be about, because that first one is an absolute staple.
Oh, yeah.
Staple in all of our childhoods. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So if they fuck this up, LeBron, I'm telling you right now, buddy.
HR. You think they're going to bring back the quad-seated DJs to do the Space Jam soundtrack?
LeBron, if you mess this up,
everybody get up.
Speaking of insufferable people like LeBron James.
Oh, damn.
We had a conversation. I had an incident today at my government job with a Seahawk fan, and Moose over there had an incident with some Boston Bruin fans. Apparently, you know, nowadays you can't criticize somebody's team, or constructive criticism. I'm not talking about hating. I'm just saying, hey, you know, what about this? What about that? But I brought up a good question. We're talking about pre-meeting and pre-podcast. It's like, who is the worst fan base in all of sports, man? Who do you got?
Who you asking?
I'm asking both of you. Who do you think, man? Who you got? Who do you think is the worst fan base, the most insufferable?
I mean, that's a weird thing to say. I mean,
Boston Bruins.
Yeah, as a fan of the Kansas City Chiefs, I mean, I always say that the Raiders are the most insufferable fan base.
I haven't ran across like too many Raiders fans, to be honest with you.
Yeah,
they're old school Raider fans are insufferable.
They're insufferable. It's especially nowadays. It's like talking to a brick wall, because it's as if they don't. Like, they know that their team is garbage, but that's not what they will ever say. And it's like, your team hadn't won more than 6 games in the past, I don't know, maybe decade, man. Like, they've been really bad. And so, like, now it's hard to deal with them. I mean, they still have a lot of Raider pride. I'll say another group of fans that are probably hard to deal with are any fans from Philadelphia. I mean, they pride themselves on not having brotherly love.
But I'll tell you what. As far as football is concerned, I agree. But the baseball team is giving Bryce Harper some shit right now. I applaud that type of shit. Because I saw them doing it.
I love you. Like, I applaud that.
Dude, no, time out. Like, the fact that this dude's getting paid so much money.
Yeah, like $28 million a year, something like that.
Getting booed every single night out of his own ballpark. Now, baseball, you have to understand, is a little bit more fair weather. There's not 1 game a week. There's 4, and 3 of them are out of town, or there's 6. Like, it's nuts. There's baseball in your town 3 nights out of the week sometimes, you know, like on average. I'm sure it's like that or such. And he gets booed every night. I mean, that is some shit. Like, could you imagine Eagles fans booing their own team every time?
Yeah.
Well, man, I always knew about this because I've watched Always Sunny in Philadelphia with the World Series defense. We knew Philly fans were horrible people. They beat up on themselves. They'll beat the Philly fanatic. And who is the Philly fanatic, huh? The green man, you know? The green.
Hey, dude, the Philly fanatic gets paid good money. I forgot what I saw, how much you got paid an hour, but I was thinking about being the Philly fanatic, man. You could become a millionaire, I think, in like 2 to 3 years being the Philly fanatic.
You can, dude. Mascots for big teams like that, like the Bulls mascot, makes some dope money, dude.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, and those guys while out. It would be awesome. I can't do a backflip though, so I'd definitely just fall on my face. Like I could be gritty, you know. I could be that Philadelphia mascot. Are we talking about Philadelphia mascots like being really good now? Like that's the only
No.
no. We're just talking about.
I was just quoting Always Sunny because I love that show. But growing up, man, one of the fans that I could not stand was Steeler fans.
Yeah, dude. Well, they tried to fight me as a child.
But time out. So in the AFC, you guys used to play against them. Is that correct? That's
and the Ravens.
But they just they're everywhere. And two, I hate when I run into fair weather fans that don't know who the quarterback was before Big Ben. It was Tommy the Machine Gun Maddox, y'all. Okay. And everybody's like, well, it's Big Ben. It's like these fair weather fans up in Seattle who are now becoming even more insufferable because I ask a question to a fan and immediately they just say, your team is garbage. It's like, are you jealous because my team beat your team last time? Fair, pretty squarely. And also, I mean, they mad. They like, but like, say, their argument, his argument was regular season don't count, right? But then all of a sudden, he's like, But when he goes, I was like, okay, well, you're saying the regular season count, but you're bragging about beating the Patriots after you lost the Super Bowl to them in the regular season. It's like, I was like, okay, that's weird, dude, because now you're saying the regular season don't count, but you're proclaiming this one little victory over the Patriots like it's your little chip that you never got because you got beat because Malcolm Butler made the most incredible play in Super Bowl history. But they're becoming insufferable, man. They're like blinded. You give them one championship, man. They're like little children up here. They're like acting like no other teams exist. They act like they're the Steelers. They act like they've been around since 1900 playing football and win every year. They act like Tom Brady. I mean, I told this story about when I was doing the photo booth for this company. I went to an office party. They had a cutout of Tom Brady with a tutu and taking pictures with him. And I was like, it's been 3 years, y'all, since like the Super Bowl, and you're still talking crap about Tom Brady.
Well, you know, they're all socialists up there, so they don't really understand like greatness. Like they don't get greatness. You know, like how America's been great since before Trump came here. I don't know why that was a thing. Like America was already great, dude. Fuck out of here with that.
The slogan doesn't mean anything about current America. It's a style of America some people want to go back to, but that's not important right now.
We don't talk politics on this show, man.
Right. Only NFL politics.
NFL politics is the only politics that matter. Goodell is the only executive in chief that we should only care about.
And he gets booed just like Bryce Harper.
Right, he's insufferable. Well, for me, guys, it has to be. I mean, I want to pick three. I want to pick three people or three teams.
I mean, I picked a couple of teams, but we don't have to go into a long list of.
Fine, I could keep going. But the Boston Bruins fans are absolutely fucking abhorrent. Like, you guys do not understand, like, how lucky you have it in other sports. They won in 2011 on a hot goaltender and Tim Thomas, who's basically a street hockey goalie. And he was nuts. He played on his head. It was a great team. The Bruins are always great. Every single time they come to the playoffs, I'm worried if I'm in the playoffs. My team's New York Rangers. Guess what? We don't do so well. Okay? Since I was born, we haven't done well. So thanks for everybody for reminding me. But the thing is, if you give me shit about the Rangers not being a threat, then you better fucking hope that you keep your chin down when I'm coming back at you, because I'm coming for the throat. Okay? Like, I love the Rangers. My first love. Hockey was my first love. I love the Patriots now. I probably pay way more attention to them. But if you're going to come at my team, like, I'm going to come back at you. What makes you think that you are so effing special that I'm not going to come back at you? When you talk about hockey in Boston, yes, the Bruins do it the best. Their fan base is absolutely insufferable. I'm pretty sure in 2011, it was one of the biggest parades our city's ever seen, even to this day, after winning, 3 more Super Bowls or whatever it's been, and 2 more World Series. I mean, it's been ridiculous. And they carry that same fucking mentality that they do in the fall and in the spring and summer, and they take it into the winter. But guess what? You don't fucking deserve it, because half of the guys giving me shit weren't born in 1972. You didn't see Bobby Orr's great goal against the St. Louis Blues. You've seen one fucking Stanley Cup, and it was in 2011, and you were on a fucking hot goaltender with Tim Thomas, and you had a great team. And ever since then, dude, it's been absolutely insufferable. I mean, these guys could literally barely make the playoffs, and they're winning the Stanley Cup, by their words, every single time they're in the Stanley Cup playoffs. It's just, it's absolutely ridiculous. And if they don't win this year, I will never stop giving them shit ever again.
Goodness, Moose, we just wanted to know who you didn't like, man. That was like a 20-minute rant.
Yeah.
How'd I do?
On like deep hate. That was talking about someone in particular.
Right, should I write a blog? I think I should write a blog.
And
I mean, just because you don't like Phil from down the street, I don't think you should do a rant like this.
They're not named Phil. They're all like Anthony's around here, dude.
I don't know, man. I don't know the names of the Northeastern children.
Yeah, they're all Irish, English, and Italian, pretty much.
Hey, okay.
Hey, Paulie! Hey, Paulie!
One thought for you, man. I just think that as a trend that we're seeing in our sports and we're seeing our fans, the things are, people are just becoming soft, man.
Right. Like the kid yelled at me for giving it back. Like, we don't need that negativity.
I just want to talk sports, man. Like, and with the Seahawk dude up here, I mean, maybe because, he just doesn't get it. But yet, I didn't insult your team, dude. I'm just pointing out your flaws. Then you call my team is garbage. And the only thing you'll hang your hat on is y'all won a Super Bowl. Okay, come back to me in 15 years and still be preaching that y'all won a Super Bowl. Y'all didn't. Okay, well, we lost to the greatest show on turf. You beat up a aging old Peyton Manning who was shooting up HGH, man. Congratulations, guys. You really dominated. You really got after those Broncos guys. But yet when you meet a real team,
I feel that because
when you meet a real team like the Patriots, you lose, don't you? Huh?
Right.
Yeah.
I feel your energy right now because guess what? You won once since you've been born the same time I was. Okay. Yeah. Granted, but I say that about my team too, about the Rangers. Yeah, I know we suck. But I admit our flaws. We haven't won in over 20 years. Great. I know that. I realize that. And I feel that with the SS fans out there.
It is like you talking. It's like also too. I hate when I know more about your team than you know more about my team. It's like, okay.
There's not a lot to know about the Titans, man. They've only been around.
What? I mean, yeah, but you don't pay attention. It's like, come on, man. I pay attention because I love football. I pay attention to all teams, Because at the end of the day, like I said, with Cam Chancellor and Doug Baldwin today, I hate them on the Seahawks, but I respect the hell out of them because they get the body because it's a fraternity, At the end of the day, that's what it's all about. And some people up here can't take criticism, man. And we soft, dude. We're getting softer and softer about everything. Because, at the end of the day,
talking trash is talking trash.
Because one thing is respecting my team, respect my team, man? I respect your team. But to just come out and say my team is garbage after having 3 winning seasons and then also 2 coming from a 2-win. I can read the roster off. It's only 2 people from when Mariota came into our team is still playing on that team. 2 people. That's it. So it's hey, guys.
I didn't know that. That's pretty crazy. I didn't know that.
Yeah, and also too.
I'm gonna go ahead and check if that's true, but
also
it's probably not that accurate. It's probably.
Taylor Warren, Delaney Walker, 3 people. But what I'm saying too is like when I know like Seahawks fans up here are like crying about how they had it so bad for so many years. You had Holcomb, you had Sean Alexander, you guys went to the Super Bowl, you were competitive. The year before you got Russell Wilson, you were going 8-8, 9-7. You were on the verge of something.
Right, you don't even know about sucking.
Yeah, you guys act like, and here's the thing, like they've never went that long sucking, you know? To where
They've had some rough times.
Yeah, back in the 70s when this kid wasn't born.
Like, all right, well, you know, we're getting really on some long tangents about these soft people, but it's time for a puppy dog of the week.
Speaking of puppy dogs, yeah. Actually, man, I ain't got no puppy dogs.
All right, well, let's go straight to the Ricky Williams 34.
Yeah. I couldn't find one that was. I wanted to say Greedy Williams, but I like his confidence. It's just you need to tone it down a little bit. But
he's just coming in there with some what's his name?
Puppy dog of the week is Kyrie Irving for sure.
Yeah, I'll give it to Kyrie because I don't like the apology to LeBron. And then T's like, dude, you did your team wrong. So Kyrie, you're the puppy dog of the week, man. But for the Ricky Williams number 34 award of the week, man, good guy of the week, because Ricky Williams was a good guy. I got to give it up to Ezekiel Elliott, man.
Yes.
Ezekiel Elliott has done a couple things. Last week, he was at the hockey game, and some young fan got hit by a hockey puck, and he went up there and consoled him because, you know, Ezekiel Elliott's sitting with the fans, man. You know what I mean?
Hell yeah.
But, this week, Ezekiel Elliott is paying for a funeral of Jalen McKenzie. He was a young man who was unfortunately shot at a party by a random bullet. 14-year-old kid. He was a phenomenon. They were talking about how he was going to go to college, you know, light it up and everything else, man. Poor kid just leaving a party and a stray bullet hit him in his life, man. And so Ezekiel Elliott, who doesn't even know this kid, doesn't even know their family, heard about it and reached out to his mother and said that he was going to pay for the funeral costs of this child. Because people, like, you don't expect to bury your child. And I'm sure funerals do cost quite a bit of money. And you do want to bury your child, right? So I got to give it up for Ezekiel Elliott for reaching out to him. And he was a fan. Poor Jalen was a fan of Elliott. And I think it's very appropriate. I just got to give it out to Ezekiel. The more you're showing, you're more of a good guy, man.
I agree.
You're changing your ways. You're a little.
That's why I'm trying to get that man paid.
Yeah.
Right. And I don't disagree. And I was wondering who you had this week because we never really talk about it. You like to surprise us at the end. And if you didn't say him, I was going to say him. I also have a shout out. My best friend's mom passed away on Tuesday. Her name was Tina Sullivan. She lost a really, really hard fought battle with brain cancer. Under 50 years old. She was a great woman, practically raised me in the summers. So I wanted to give a shout out to her and the whole Sullivan clan out here. It's a tough one, you know. But yeah, a couple of good people this week. That's for sure. I mean, Zeke, he's making me proud, man.
After his whole domestic disturbance thing and stuff, people kind of paint him as a bad picture, but he did suspension. Everything he's doing is right. I know that it's hard as somebody who knows that sometimes your past will catch up with you when they bring it up. No matter how many years have passed, people like to bring crap up, acting like they've never done anything wrong. But I've always believed in second chances, and he got his second chances, running away with it. I just can't say about other people, but Ezekiel did the right thing, and I hope the Cowboys do you right, man, because you're the workhorse for the Cowboys. Sorry, Dak, but you need your boy Zeke, man, and you got to pay him.
I think they need them both. But did you see the video of Elliott eating that huge cowboy steak too? With like a 1.5 bone, dude, and that thing was straight off the grill, and he just chomped it, and he was like, they were like, how is it? And he was like, hot. He was steaming.
Wow, I didn't watch it. I saw it on like a thing to click, and I was like, I'm not gonna watch a man eat meat.
Oh, dude, you know what? As a man that loves meat, I'd watch other men eat meat. You know?
All right, well, I think that's another episode of the Ricky Williams Trilogy. That's going to be a soundbite. We're going to use that one for the Moose forever. Check us out on our social platforms. You can find us on the podcast, on Instagram, under the Ricky Williams Trilogy podcast or the RW Trilogy podcast. You can find us on Twitter as well, Ricky Williams Trilogy podcast on Twitter, and also Facebook. Find us at Fumblerooski Sports as well as the Ricky Williams Trilogy. Also, folks, we've got the spinoff of Money Mouth, which I believe we'll be getting back to here.
Well, yes, we'll get back to it. It just
we had to have a little hiatus. Good thing we did, because we probably would have put some money down on horse racing and would have lost on Maximum Security.
I know, how can you go wrong with the horse named Maximum Security? That's awesome.
Know, dude. We probably would have bet the house on that one, dude. It had the odds, and it was named Maximum Security. I'm definitely not betting on, what was it, Country House or something?
Country House, yeah. It's like, come on, man.
Betting on a Country House, that we would have definitely lost money. So it's a good thing we weren't betting on that one. So we'll come back with Muddy Mouth here shortly. Again, check us out. We have past episodes that you can listen to on YouTube. Yes, is that right?
Yes, we're on YouTube now. Fumblerooski has his page. Look for it weekly. We'll be updating that page along with Money Mouth. When football season starts, we'll have a Titan show, Chiefs show, a Patriots show, and some other shows.
Man. Chief up,
dude. Patriot up, man.
I haven't thought of my name yet.
Yeah. So they should all be up. Like Tighten Up, Chief Up, and Pats Up. I don't know what Pats Up means.
It might just be the Pompous Patriot. I don't know yet. I don't know.
That's kind of good, man. Pompous Patriot.
I kind of just came up with that. That's what happens when you drink John Daly's Grip and Sip. Hopefully, we'll get an advertisement for them soon.
But yes, check us out on YouTube. Check us out all over the place. We're coming hard at it with new content. We are the voice of the fans, y'all. We don't do this whole crap of we're analysts. We're just fans, and we love the game. We love talking sports, man. That's all we do, man. Because we ain't gonna come in here like a Chris Sims and be like, I'm an analyst. I hate everybody because I got cut by these teams. So yeah,
it's just another episode of trash talk.
We don't do that here, man. You know why? Because we love the game, and you know what? All it is a sport. It's supposed to be fun, and that's it, man. But y'all, also too, man, Be Easy has a show too. He is a double dipping.
That's right, dude. I do also have Double Overtime airing on LATV. Check your local listings. It's supposed to be airing starting this week, or actually when this comes out, it'll probably be this week. So starting Monday, should be episodes of Double Overtime on LATV. So again, check your local listings. I have no idea where it would be on anyone else's local. It's on the website.
We'll find it. We'll plug it.
We'll plug it. We'll figure it out.
It's been a fun night, boys. I guess with that, I'll say, bye-bye, Kyrie Irving, and go Jerks.
Go Chiefs and Chief up.
Go Titans, man. And we're out.
Yes, sir.